All right, folks, we are back with another NES run. This is going to be the end of our block of 4 NES runs. We got Funhouse once again with MixMastaPJ. Take it away.
All right, guys, this is Funhouse. If you guys have ever watched Fox Kids growing up, this was the Fox Kids Double Dare knockoff, I guess, to try and lure some viewers away from Nickelodeon. Hosted famously by J.D. Roth, who's now more known for being the executive producer and creator of The Biggest Loser. So we're going to be one of the biggest losers by playing this game today, but that's okay. That's about what the similarities end. It's title and trademarked that way, but this has nothing to do with the TV show whatsoever. So we'll get started here and show you guys some of this nonsense here. We'll get going in 3, 2, 1, start. All right, so there's J.D. Roth. It's definitely not Tim Allen, although plenty of people seem to joke about that. It's probably one of my more popularly used emotes on my Twitch stream. Is that guy there, one of the best. So this game, as I said before, has nothing to do with the trivia of Double Dare or the obstacle course stuff. We're just running around and shooting these targets, and then we have to grab a key at the end. Like, that's actually what's happening here. It's weird. There's a little bit of, like, obstacles and stuff that we'll get to, but these very beginning levels don't have them. We're allegedly throwing tomatoes. That's what it says in the instruction booklet. And we're kind of driving like a tank here. Like, I didn't press up or down to go in those directions. In fact, up and down are actually useless in this game. You just go left and right, and when you hold left, you rotate counterclockwise, and hold right, you rotate clockwise. And it takes a long time to get used to that sort of mechanic. That blue, like, water current there is actually like a conveyor belt sort of thing. It looks like water, but it totally isn't. But it is trickier to fight against it, so we try to make sure that all of our optimal paths travel along that rather than against it here. Some of these beginning levels, they just have some easy targets that we go with. This is the first one where they're numbered, so you have to shoot them in sequential order. If I shot like number 2 right now or whatever, it wouldn't actually actuate, so that was a really good shot there. We try to aim so that we fire the tomato when we're right at the outer range of the target there so that we don't have to get too close to it. But also, especially for the last target, it spawns that key as early as possible. So the goal is to do that there. And then also, if a target is actively spinning, you can't shoot through it to another one. So we try to stay a little bit askew on this one. So that way we can still shoot like 7 while 6 is still kind of in its animation there. The key does take a little while to spawn up, so it's not that important that we shoot 8 and we're not right on top of it right away. All right, so we're done with the really, really easy levels, and we're going to go to Horseshoe here, where we're not going to pay attention to the targets at all, because we're any percenting this, and in typical NES fashion, if you want to be a real NES game, you need to have, like, warps and stuff. So they didn't call it a warp, they call it a shortcut. So we're going to hit this little pyramid here, if we don't get shot up by that cannon. And we're going to take a shortcut and go from level 1-6 all the way to level 4-5. And you're like, wow, wait a second. How many levels are in this thing? There's 12, and there's 6 rooms in each floor. So 72 levels in this game. We're going to probably play about 30 of them. But you could see already, like, the huge increase in difficulty here, going from floor 1 to floor 4. Because now we've got all these conveyors around us, and we don't want to miss any of these targets because then we have to fight the current or do an extra lap. So we'll try to shoot 8 as early as possible and hopefully not fall too far down that tube there. And we got that one pretty quick. All right, so then this next one here is just more of a maze. So there's not really any rhyme or reason, but 1 is hidden really, really far away, so we kind of just ignore 2. So there's 2. That'll be the last target we hit in this level. Some brief history on this game. Oh, it's okay. We'll be coming back this way anyhow. This was one of the first runs ever at a speedrun marathon for RGBLAN, and we created a brand new Twitch channel for it, and we're super excited to showcase some of these retro runs at the beginning, and we forgot to enable bots. So that's why this one is it's getting its what's it called? It's redemption run here today. So you may have seen this before if you've been really into the RGBLAN speedrunning scene, other than the guys who are sitting here with us already. But pretty cool to see this at a marathon here. Now this actually does look like the obstacle course. If you YouTube like Funhouse TV show, most of the highlights are going to come from this ridiculous obstacle course. All this is a tiny little cutscene to say that, hey, look at you, you made it, you finished level 4. That was all that is. We don't get to do any of this cool stuff. Instead, we get to throw tomatoes at spinning targets. So, yeah. All right, this is where we first see some ice physics here. Ice physics in normal games are just like, oh, it's slippery. That's going to be interesting for how we jump. Well, this game, you're kind of like on skates. And you don't have a button that slows you down. You're just like accelerating or firing tomatoes. So we're going to try and avoid these bumpers because they are absolutely horrendous to hit. Like that. But actually, that one worked out pretty nice because then we can just use that to hit that. Cool. Oh, what? We didn't get the key? We got there too soon. There we go. All right, 59 on the clock isn't great, but that's fine. We had a chance at a 63, which is pretty good. But yeah, so you can see the ice physics there. It's going to get really bad when we get up here to 5-3. And then here's the first time that we actually get like the super skates. So we can grab this little thing here and it makes us like really fast. The problem with going really fast, you can see how far I can barely throw the tomato straight ahead. So you really need to be precise and lined up exactly right because you're not going to have that range that you did before because you're just running too fast. It's like you're, you know, if you could run the speed of a bullet but you fired a gun, would the bullet go twice as fast or would you just be running alongside the bullet? I don't know. No one's ever figured that out. Same thing like if you had a vehicle that went almost the speed of light and turned on the headlights, would you see the lights like slowly ooze out of the vehicle? Or would it go twice as fast all of us? I don't know. So we got to get through here. Look at all this ice. This is ridiculous. All right, we snuck by that banana cannon. And then we got to get to all these little spots up here. And they're all in order, so it's not like we can just go like, oh, well, the banana cannon's up there, so let's go to the easier spots. No. Got to take care of them in order. Now, typically, you'll see some other cool little power-ups here, like points or coins and stuff. That little C that you see in the upper left, I guess it stands for currency. Maybe it stands for coins. But there's other ones that have like dollar signs on them, and they give you 5 coins. Because apparently in the universe here, the economy gives 5 coins per dollar or whatever. But if you get 25 of those, you get a 1-up. I don't anticipate taking any deaths here, and that's not just me being like a speedrun like snob. Like I can't remember the last time that I had like a completed run take a death. Like once you know all the levels, the game becomes really, really easy. It's like, you know, easy to not die. It's still going to be easy or tough to get good times and be fast about it, but a lot of the challenge in this game is not knowing where things are. So they give you a good bit of time the first time you play it through to kind of, you know, make sure you don't die that way. But realistically speaking, if you know where all the things are because you've played the game a few times, like even though I missed this 4 here, I'm going to end the level with plenty of time left over. So it's a fun little beginner game for sure, but it's definitely difficult to master. Some really popular NES speedrunners have some runs submitted to this game, so, you know, if you really enjoy seeing how you match up against the likes of like Smart Ball or Author Blues, they love this game. And they stream it every once in a while, so I'm certainly a nobody compared to them, but at this point in time, to be ahead of them by multiple minutes means that I'm probably doing something right. But it's just it's a fun game. It's not quite Funhouse like the TV show, but it's still an interesting game to see. Now here we got a really long level. This is what I mean by when I say really punishing as far as not knowing where to go. You run up here and it takes like 8 or 9 seconds just to get to this target. If I had gone the other way and there was a 2 and a 4 up there instead, that would literally be time wasted because I wouldn't be able to shoot any of the targets and I ran all the way up there. So this definitely has a bit of a, you know, discovery aspect. Like, oh man, like I wish I could play that game again for the first time. We feel that way about games that have a lot more puzzle aspects to them because then once you know the solutions to those puzzles, it's not as fun. Like I know everyone always wishes they could play like Ocarina of Time or Final Fantasy VII again for the first time, but no one's playing Professor Layton for the 5th time through and getting any kind of enjoyment out of it. So, yeah. Funhouse has got that similar diminishing returns as far as puzzle solving goes, but I think it gets way, way better when you think of it out as almost like a racing game where you're just trying to shave off tenths or hundredths or whatever you're trying to do on each individual level because it does feel like you're driving a car sometimes. Counterclockwise got a very intuitive name here because we've got effectively 8 targets that are spaced in a circle, and you can probably imagine that we're supposed to go counterclockwise. All right, that was not a really good diagonal section, so let's try and go through this one a little bit better. We'll just line it up and hopefully we can go through in a straight line. But like I said, tank controls make this a little bit weird. You're just holding left and right and hoping that you're releasing with the proper angle. There we go. And diagonal through there. And then we see make this sharp turn in the 7, make a good turn up. Nope, not that great. It's okay. And then we'll get another one of these next level in 6, where we have to hit every other one. All right, you get to see the obstacle course again. This time we're going all the way down to level 5. We're going to go down that cool slide. I wonder what happened to this set. Did it just get thrown in the dumpster? Or do like random people who used to work on the show have pieces of it in their basement? That'd be pretty cool. Like, you know, like remember when Kramer had the Merv Griffin show set? He found the whole thing in a dumpster. Like, but just like knowing that, like, I mean, there's plenty of pieces of television like this that are probably lost forever, right? All right, this has nothing to do with pinball. There's a bunch of bumpers in here. There's some ice, but there's no flippers. There's no extra ball. There's no multi-ball. None of that fun stuff. It just ran out of creative names. All right, so we go through there. You can see how, like, instead of, like, there's no brakes, like I said before, in order to slow down, I basically just do a 180 and then accelerate in that direction a little bit, and that's kind of how you cancel out your momentum because you're not just able to hit, like, the brakes. You can't hockey stop. No Mighty Ducks or Blades of Steel, so. All right, one of the first, like, really tricky maze levels here. They put all the odd targets on this side, but they don't really put them in any kind of real, like, designated spot, so you kind of have to know where that 2 is up here in this corner. Otherwise, you're going to spend a long time over here in this chamber looking for it. Go find 3, which is up here. Try to keep that momentum going. Same thing with 4. And then we saw 5 when the level started. It's right down this area. And we missed it. There we go. 6 is all the way down here in the corner. Now, there's a giant clock down here. We hit one of those earlier. We actually try not to hit those. Now we got one. It's not really that big of a deal, but at the end of the level, when they count down the time, that's more time they got to count down. So it's going to cost you a few frames if you have all that extra time on the clock. But if you spend more frames to avoid the clock, then it wasn't worth it anyway. So try to get lined up here for a perfect shot at 9. There we go. And park it right there. Cool, that's binary system. We got a couple more levels here till our next shortcut, which will skip us a pretty sizable chunk here. Here's the one I was talking about there. It's also shaped kind of like a wheel with spokes on it. Nice ice fizz in the middle. This Glop gun here is pretty brutal, actually. They made a little bit of a smaller center section so that he has better range at hitting you. Every time you get hit by one of those stupid little pellets, it takes off 3 seconds. So if you get, like, pinned in a corner and he's just lighting you up there, you could effectively die really, really quickly. So it's certainly happened before, but it's, you know, that's usually the way that you die, not that you can't find targets or just run out of time naturally. We saw 5 where we came in. So pretty nice of them to put that right there. We go straight across the 6 to diagonal these again and try and get that angle perfect. And these are the tricky ones because then you want to get that perfect shot across the ice but not get lit up by the Glop gun. And this goes straight down to 8. I got greedy with the tomatoes there. Tried to throw that a little bit quick. The budget for tomatoes here equal to the budget of medicine balls for American Gladiators. Fun fact, exactly the same. But yeah, as you see here, the levels start getting more and more targets, but also they start getting large. So you have a lot more area to cover, and usually they don't give you any extra time to do it. So we got that one bumper in the middle, which can be brutal with the ice physics. We're going to try and be careful and not go anywhere near that thing. This level is shaped like a giant D-pad, and they put 1 and 2 there. And then we go over here for 3. And it's, like, really hard to get lined up to go perfectly horizontal here. So you do kind of just, like, you can see I'm slightly scaling up just a little bit. I don't know if that's just the game physics there or if it is, like, you literally have, like, 360-degree control and I'm just, like, not releasing it exactly on the perfect frame to go perfectly straight all the time. But it does seem to be far more likely that end up pointing slightly askew than perfectly straight. But that only seems to happen on ice. So that might be by design on purpose. They don't want you to have that, so it makes you have to make more adjustments. But I don't know. There were 6 people that made this game, and I don't know any of them, so I can't really ask them. But I mean it. When you go to the credits, it's just there's 6 guys. And one thing about this game that's great is the music. I absolutely love the music in any NES game by this guy, George Sanger, also known as the Fat Man, did the soundtrack for Adventures of Rad Gravity, as well as Maniac Mansion and a few other ones there. You can search him up. We're going to go find this little shortcut here. I'm disregarding the targets because I'm trying to get out of level 6. All right, here we go. All the way up to 8-5, I think? Yeah. This is where the levels really, this is where a run really starts to happen. Usually I can get here and be like 5 seconds behind world record pace and be like, this is really where the run starts. So we're going to try and stay in the center of this like green platform as best we can and not get askewed at all. Those banana cannons are going to try and do exactly the opposite. But we want to make sure that we don't hit those yellow little lifesaver-shaped bumpers. Because their hitboxes are massive compared to what they look like. It looks like you shouldn't be Shouldn't be able to hit them at all, but if you get even relatively close to them, it usually triggers them. So that was a pretty good tiptoe, though. We'll take that. So not even quite sure where our time is. What, 14, 15, so we're looking okay. I mean, we're not looking at world record pace here or nothing, but we could definitely sub 28 still. Pretty good. All right, so we got to line up these skates here. There's going to be 2 of them right in a row. We only want to get 1 of them because we're going to need the other one later. And you can see that this level is called escargot, which, as you guys know, French word for snails, right? So we got a nice big spiral here towards the middle, and that's where, of course, where they put the 1. And then we'll try and take out the 2, 3, and 4 on the way out, and not leave too many unnumbered ones here. So that skate wore off. Okay, we got the 1. I didn't want to grab the skate first. I wanted to grab that second, so it lasted a little bit long. Oh, that's bad. Like I said before, the skate really reduces your range on the target, so you have to be like perfect where you shoot. Which just means that skate is probably going to expire before we get to the next one, but that's okay. Yeah, we lost a little bit early. That's all right. With between the turnaround and grabbing it before we got the 1 there, that was bound to happen. We got the second skate here, the 5, the unnumbered, and then the 6. There we go. And that is the end of World 8. So we're now effectively 2/3 through the game, but we haven't played anywhere close to 2/3 of the level. So that's a win in my book. We're going to make, you can see what your guy's going to do here. But yeah, if you're watching on PC or even on your phone, if you want to open up a new tab or something and keep that Twitch thing going in the background, I would suggest looking up George Sanger. And if you play a lot of retro games, you're going to be like, oh, wow, yeah, he did make the music to Faceball. It does sound exactly like this. Oh, Maniac Mansion definitely has same sounds as this. Now, one game that he did make the sound for that sounds nothing like these is Home Alone. I think Home Alone used a bunch of sound effects and all their pranks and stuff and just gave him like a really crummy MIDI menu to work with. And I think he just did the best he could with it. But his name is on that one, too. So he does have to take credit for that, although that one does not have a great soundtrack. But a lot of his other NES games, he does have just a great portfolio of work there. So awesome composer. I'm glad he was on this game, because he definitely overshadows the other 5 people who worked on it. We saved this unnumbered one for last, as opposed to going with the other ones there, because it's so much easier to access. All of those spiral conveyors just make them really, really difficult to get there in general. So that one's got the least amount of obstacles, so we saved that one for the end. This level is called chess. It is a chess/checkerboard pattern. There's 8x8 little squares here, but that is it. I think it's probably easier than the game of chess. Honestly, there's a chess club at the school that I work at, and I'm fairly certain that they would all destroy me, and even them, they're not. They are self-proclaimed not very good. I don't think anyone actually thinks they're really good at chess. I feel like even the good players are just like, I'm not good. I know someone better than me. But I know what all the pieces do. That's the extent of my chess knowledge. Like I know how to play chess. I know how to lose at chess. I'm pretty good at that. But yeah, I'm not really good at thinking like 4 or 5 moves ahead. I'm barely good at thinking 1 move ahead. All right, so there we go. We finished this little checkerboard there, and the conveyor belts there were kind of friendly to us in that regard. Nothing too crazy. And we got one more shortcut coming up here real soon. Oh, this level, super duper easy for us. Really, really, really hard for a beginner. Very, very massive level that goes all over the place. Lots of different mazes and stuff. But realistically, once you know where to go, you just have to hit this target, and then you have to go down this hallway and hit this target, and then go down here to get that banana redirect, and you're done. Also, that 1, really misleading. You get that 1 first, you're like, oh my gosh, there must be a 2 and a 3, so there's not. It's just numbered 1 just to confuse you. So we get to beat that much faster. This level is one of the longest in the game. As far as actual area covered here, we've got to run all the way around to get to 1 and then get escape. Got some ice physics to worry about, some conveyors to worry about, but nothing too complicated. We're going to hit the shortcut soon here, once we get to 9.5, though. And that's going to take us to level 12. And we have to do all of level 12, which are incredibly challenging levels compared to all these. These are all really nothing as far as difficulty goes. It scales nicely, but because you guys don't get to see levels 10 and 11, it does seem like quite the massive jump from level 9 to level 12. So I'm going to try and get as much out of the skate as we can. Now we lost it, but it's okay, because we have to do a lot of reverse conveyor traversing this time. And you guys will see for the last target of this run, or this level here, how brutal it is. All right, we're not going to go into that chamber yet because we need this 3, because there's a 4 hiding in here. But yeah, you can see how hard it is to reverse against the conveyor like that. They definitely want to punish you. It's like, don't go this way. And if you do, it's going to take you a long time. Well, then, guess where they hit target number 6? Let me show you guys that one. So we got to do a little bit of reverse traversing here against the conveyors to shoot number 5. And it's like, man, I can't find 6 anywhere. So it's hiding in here. It's brutal. They give you a clock. Now, normally I wouldn't want the clock, but the reason why I pick it up this time is because then I get to run over that section where the clock was, and it sends me a lot further forward. We'll take out 6. 84 seconds left. That's how much time they expect the beginner to still use here. So they give me an extra minute and a half, basically, to try and find everything. But that's where... Now we're almost done with 5. We're going to not hit any targets here. We're just going to go right to the shortcut. Give you guys some love for that music. All right, here we are at 12-1. This one takes a little bit of concentration. We're trying to line up exactly when the skates would expire so that we don't spend too much time without one, but they don't stack, so we want to make sure we get the right ones in the right order here. So we'll take that one, or ignore this one and save this one for later. We'll get it on the way back here, though, as we go to 4. Maybe. There we go. 4. And 5's over here with 9, but there's a skate here as well that we can use to get back. Eventually. Let's get that unnumbered one. There we go. Trying to do a little less talking so we can hear these awesome jams. Yeah, because these level 12 levels are just a little bit longer, so we actually get to hear the song loop. Song 2 is actually quite long. We only get to hear that loop in level 12-5 in this run, so I'll try to be a little bit quiet during that one too. It's one of the best. And there's 12-1. 5 levels to go. Right, this next level is pretty brutal as far as weapons go. So they've got a lot of glop guns here. There's a lot of times where you want to rush through and thinking speedrun, got to go fast, but really we got to wait and let the weapons kind of go through their cycle before it's clear. I didn't wait long enough. There we go. They're not very generous with their time in this level. Try and use those banana cannons to direct us to the right spot here. I like to hit this target first, so that way I don't have to try and fight the banana cannon to get that last one. Alright, this is typically one of the more challenging levels in the run because you don't get a lot of targets to add time. And the ice physics here, as well as the bumper physics, can be really punishing. So we're going to try and be really careful when we try to enter the chambers after we get off the ice. Alright, avoided the blobs, that's good. Oh, not that one. Look at that hitbox. Felt like we were like an entire blob away from it, but it still triggered the animation and sent us back, so that's not great. All right, that's okay. So we're going to slow down here. Slow down, and shoot this thing a bunch. All right, we got rid of it. Normally you can't make it through there, otherwise it's just tough. You can line it up perfectly, but those bananas usually shoot you right at the last second. That you don't actually make it. Oh man, we might take a death. Yeah, it's only it's not looking good for the hero here. That's all right. We got plenty of lives. This one's the one that if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen because it's not like you can't find where you're going, but a couple bad bumps there, like we got on the blob and the bumper there, just make it a little bit tricky. And not like the targets always give you some more time. Only 4 targets in this level, so not a lot of time getting added to your total. All right. That's okay. That's fine. Slow down here. That works. Really? Pretty sure his HP must reset every time, too. Oh my goodness, so close to that last target. That's all right. Well, we get one more chance at it, otherwise we go back to 12-1. So let's clutch this out, please. It's fine. Stop being greedy. Oh my gosh, how much HP does he have? That's okay. Get this and go straight across. We got this. Nope, didn't clutch it. Tried to laser it through. That's all right. We get to see Velodrome again. Oh, look at that. We snuck through it anyway. All right. So we got inside track again. Let's see if we do this even better. It wouldn't be NES block without multiple game overs, right, guys? We got one game over earlier. And, oh, I didn't want to double skate. That's fine. I'm not going to lose a life or anything here. I think if you had told Mad Mega and I that we were going to have 2 game overs between all 4 of our games, we would have signed up for that. That'd have been fine. Plus, we have to hear this bop again, so that's fine. You don't get to hear it much in 12-4. This is one of the friendlier games, though, if you're trying to be one of those people who beats every NES game ever. And the continue system is really friendly here. They don't care. They know this game wasn't that great. Just beat it and never play it again, please. Here's a billion continues. It's just like it uses the same continue system that like Mario 1 does, where you can hold A and press start a couple times and it immediately resets you to the beginning of that world, effectively. So you'll have infinite continues here. If you were just really stuck on level 12 and never turned off your NES, then you could effectively be there forever until you beat it. So pretty forgiving for us, and that's convenient for a speedrun setup here where we're not always playing on the same hardware we're used to at home. So it'd be pretty bad to just like get this far and not actually be able to do it. So. Oh, we went too far. That'll take 3 seconds. All right, that was safer. But yeah, that level in particular, 12-3, not a level that usually gives me too much trouble anymore, but it is that and another level that we skip in one of the warps are typically the ones that people are most worried about as far as taking deaths go. So in the 100% run, I would say 12-3 is probably the second scariest. We didn't want to leave that one for last, but it's okay. All right, let's be safe here. Let's not get super greedy with it. Just take care of the bumpers. Go through it slowly. Usually getting through here, we want to stay high on the wall and then cut low. And then depending how long these targets take, kind of determine where those blobs are on the way back. But that was pretty good. Smooth. We're going a little faster than we want here. All right, tank controls being nice so far. There we go. That's about as good as we can hope for there, so. Don't have to see that one anymore. Man, I'm really glad I put 35 minutes in the application, even though I didn't have a single run over 30. All right, this is a relatively easy level. Just a couple reverse stream conveyors you got to worry about, but nothing insane. So, good snipe there. Blob hit me, still took it out anyway. That one not as much. Did we hit that? Nope. We actually can use the blob to channel that energy back to come back around at it, but it's fine. I didn't want to fight through it and get too close because then we have to fight it on the way out. Because to me, that's worse. We have to fight it on the way out like that. It's a little bit trickier. We'll grab the clock here just in case. Just in case anything goes south in this last little bit. Then it's just not very intuitive that you'd want to fight to go down here. And that's just where number 1 happens to be hiding, so... Alright, the next 2 levels just insanely long, lots of traversing, and usually they have all the targets on the left side or all the targets on the right side, and the middle is just full of obstacles, so that's what we're going to worry about here. This is the one that's actually in the demo. When they're showing you the game there at the title screen, it's spitting back and forth. It's literally the second to last level of the game they're showing you the demo of. So if you're looking at that, you're like, man, this game's too hard. Well, you have 70 levels before it to practice on, so not too bad. Yeah, we'll take that because we don't want to get shot up anyway. So yeah, all the odds are over there, and all the evens are back here with a couple unnumbered ones sprinkled in there too. Those bananas also take 3 seconds away. They call them both banana cannons, even though one of them seems to shoot like gold lasers, and the other one just kind of like sprays at you. I'm not quite sure if they ran out of different things to name it, but yeah, like that thing there doesn't take time away, but it is in the instruction booklet also referred to as a banana cannon, even though they're very clearly different enemies. None of these enemies have like HP. You can't destroy them. They're just going to shoot at you no matter what. So, all right, let's hear the good guitar solo. Clutch that one out there. We had like 5 seconds left for that one. I didn't want to stop and get a clock, though. I was like, all right, we can still do this. All right, last level of the game. Lots of ice physics here. Lots of skate opportunities to kind of cheat, because they usually put, they put all the odd numbers here on the left. Oh, we want that skate. It's worth going back and fighting for, I promise you. Because we want this so we can go here. And the reason why the skate is so important in this level is because we can then fight this current with ease. Like we don't have to fight it like we normally would and take forever to go back, but it is much faster to stay up top than it is the bottom. The bottom goes from right to left, which is nice for what we have to do 5, 6, 7 a little bit later here. But this little top hallway here, rather than having to go all the way down to the bottom and fight through these bumpers and stuff that you'll see, grabbing the skate makes that easier. And we're going to save that skate there for later. Take this skate here so that we can shoot 5 and then come straight back for 6 rather than having to use the top of the screen. So shoot 5, go right against the current, shoot 6 and grab the skate for 7. And 7's down here on the bottom, so we'll stay perfectly lined up for that. But look at that range. You can see what I mean when I win the skates. We don't throw the tomatoes very far. And then we'll take 8 here, grab the skate, come straight back for 9. And time will be when I grab the key for number 9 here in just a sec. So we got the skate. Let's go straight back. Ah. Right. And there's target 9. Let's grab it and time. All right, guys, ready for another game with very, very, very few ending screens? Let's see. So we get to see the obstacle course here again. You get to see all 12 things that you totally wish you got to play with as a kid. And this game doesn't really even give you the virtual feeling that you did that. It just shows a nice little waving sprite of a kid on those spots there. Oh, yeah, that's how you would traverse through that. I'm sure just stand through that, too. And then we get this wonderful, unleavable cutscene. You can't press start or A. You have to reset it. You see these guys on rollerblades. All right, dudes. Sparkles coming out of the sky. And then, as I mentioned earlier, the 6 lovely people who created this game. Oh, no, we got these cheerleaders first. Yeah, they're not terrifying looking at all and nightmare-inducing. Great pixel art. Congratulations, you are a Funhouse superstar. Awesome. And then, yes, the 6 people, well, sorry, 5 people, 4 people, really. If Real Time and Ironwind are really those people, then that's it. 4 people made this game. And it shows, but that's okay. But that's Funhouse for you guys there. I hope you guys really enjoyed these games where they took a whole lot of liberties with the television licenses that they purchased. And, yeah, hopefully next time I can show you some more ridiculous stuff that doesn't resemble its TV counterparts at all.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was, once again, outstanding. The VODs are saved, I can confirm. It's still the same channel. They're still saved. They'll be there. Awesome. We're actually about a half hour ahead of schedule right now. So I'm going to go ahead and take this to break. We're going to have a Minority Report speedrun for you when we come back. I'm told that everybody runs. So we'll we'll discover that when we get there. I'll see you in a hot second, folks.